I'm Todd Calvert, the director of this film, here in the beautiful San Juan Mountains. We're here because a disturbing thing is happening in our very country. This area, approximately 20 miles from Durango, Colorado, is being industrialized and developed to the point where the beautiful creatures that inhabit this great land are being weeded out. We as filmmakers decided to come into this wilderness in search of one of the most beautiful and frightening creatures that has ever walked this planet. Its name, the Iwi. We've come with hunter Brian Taylor, famous tracker, in search of this illustrious creature. Please join us on our search for the Iwi. Little do these visitors know that they are less than 2 miles away from locations where there have been sightings of the Iwi. Hi, we're here at Haviland Lake with the Diaz family, and they have an interesting story to tell us about the Iwi. Fabian, it appears you were out camping and something happened. Would you mind telling us about it?
Well, I was down by the lake eating a Hershey bar and I saw a big hairy monster. But luckily I had my knife and I scared him away.
Wow, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I seen him as I was coming up here and I had this with him and he ran off.
Really? So you think he's pretty afraid of everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did he get the Hershey bar?
Yes.
Oh, he did. Did he like it, did he think, or was he just kind of grunt?
He just took it.
With that?
Well, I just see it for a few seconds and he come pretty close to me and run off.
The Iwi come by here and tried to get one of my beers, which I wasn't drinking. He stuck him in the arm and he took off down through the bushes hollering, ouch.
I was riding up Horse Gulch about 5:30 this afternoon and up at the major bend right before Raider Ridge, this white flash came out of the woods and just screaming and hollering, big teeth, blood dripping from its claws. It knocked me over. You can see my bike, it's totally thrashed.
Let me create a mental picture for the viewers. See this, fangs, 3 times the size.
What was I talking about?
The Iwi.
Oh. And at first we thought it was like just some kind of like that the duvage was laced or something, which would have been fine, you know, but it was really scary and we looked up and we saw this big, like a big thing.
No.
Well, I think he was as scared of us as we were of him.
And it just went like that at us, man. We didn't know what it was, man. We didn't know. So we went, hey man, this isn't cool. And he said, ah!
Now I was cornered by the beast. No, I wasn't cornered. Okay, exaggeration, stretching of the truth. But I tell you what, I just like I said, I saw him running off, and he would have came back. He would have smelled me. I was wearing Ralph Lauren that day. He can smell that. I'm sure he can. He's a beast. They smell. They don't see, they smell. That's why they're so ferocious. Wouldn't you be mad if all you could do is smell? You'd go crazy. I mean, you couldn't see, you could just smell.
I think they're a definite threat to the public and that, you know, you guys have got to do something about it. You know, this Iwis we're talking about. I've read stuff about Iwis. You know, Iwis are out there, they eat children and stuff. They go through garbage cans, snatch poodles.
We didn't know what to do, you know? So, you know, we finished the bowl.
I just saw its butt running through the woods. You know, like the first time you ever see a deer, it's usually its butt bouncing through the woods. Who wants to see that? That's all I saw. And she was terrified. It must have been a monster.
And we looked back and we just saw him going, like dancing, you know?
I would have been killed, probably. He was running away, but I'm sure if he would have got a scent of me, he would have came back. And out of nowhere, this man, back, over here. This man, he saved my and my lovely's wife, and probably many other, hey, where are you going with that? Right? He saved more lives that day. Tell him what you did.
It was just a little one, so I threw some rocks.
He did more than that. Over here, you got it over me? Okay, it was like he just was sent down from, I hate to say this in vain, God, but it's almost like he was sent down and just annihilated. Give him the details. Don't be modest. Over here. I'm not telling you. Don't let this man be modest. You listen, and whatever he says, a grain of salt, multiply it by 20 times that power. Okay? Go back to Brian.
Anyone would have done the thing in the same position.
Brian Taylor, world-famous tracker, has saved many people from the perils of the Iwi. We will now join him 10 years earlier at his home in Durango, Colorado.
I've lived around here near 25 years, and I've seen all kinds of things. And I tell you what, I've seen the Iwi as one ferocious, hell-bent beast.
Now, one of the things I like best about the Iwi is it's real good eating. Now you see here, we have a little barbecue and got some chicken and some pork ribs, and here's a little piece of Iwi here in back. Now something like that, you know, it's a lot darker than your average game animal, but it's not got a real wild flavor. It's not real gamey. So it's kind of like elk, but a little milder. You know how everyone says it tastes like chicken, but it doesn't. It's got its own flavor, and you got to really appreciate that. Little garlic.
Now, this Iwi here, this is one I killed about 10 years ago. I caught him up there on the other side of Mount Hesperus. He was off there slinking there trying to sneak up on some kids there having a little picnic. He was after the, I don't know what, they say he was after the ice cream, but I just have to take him at their word. I took him right through the neck here. Taxidermist kind of went through and cleaned that up, so it's looking all right now, but I'm real proud of this one. I got it here in my living room. This is something I can tell the kids about. This one I got here in the family room, this is more of a natural mount. This is how you're more likely to see an Iwi if you are to see one. This is the look of horror. Just before I took his brain out, the taxidermist just kind of covered the hair back on this one. Now, you know, normally you wouldn't see one mounted like this. People like to have them all with the big claws and blood dripping, but I felt to have one in their natural environment was important. It was educational that way. The first one, we was down there in the orchard, and like I said, looking back across, and things was getting all orangey like they do about sunset. And I looked down the rows, between 2 rows of apples there, and there was an Iwi. It wasn't much of one, but it was young, strong, had plenty of spunk. But the Iwi's always been a special animal for me. I've hunted them all, elk, cougar, bear, anything I thought I could get a thrill out of, but nothing excites me like an Iwi. The wild Iwi.
Brian Taylor was asked to be a part of this film because of his knowledge on the Iwi. The footage you are now viewing is recovered film from people who never made it back alive after filming the Iwi. Present day, Brian Taylor will lead us on our expedition to find the Iwi.
Now, this around here is some prime Iwi country. You could probably take yourself a little time and get back in these hills, and I'd be surprised if you wouldn't see one. Now, there's all this beauty and natural splendor. The Iwi, they're just the kind of beast that would just hang out in these here flowers for a while and have them a little bit of a nap, I guess. You can usually sneak up on them when they're like this and come down off them, and they may not even see you coming. Just cold cock them right there. But that's not what we're here for today. We're trying to take a little time to prove to people that the Iwi is a valuable creature. That's why I'm not armed. I don't have any rifles with me. I do have my knife in case something should go terribly wrong, because you never can tell when there is an Iwi around. Now look here. The pine cone is one of the prime sources of nutrition for the Iwi. They can just take these and somehow digest all these little woody bits and turn it into something like we'd eat a piece of steak or something.
They love them. Pine cones and beer. For some reason, they like a nice beer now and again, and they can be baited with something like that. We'll be trying that a little later. For now, let's move on. Now, you see here all these pine cones on the ground. I'll bet if we waited long enough, we'd... Wait, what's that back there? Oh my God, I think it's one. Here, quick. Now here. Keep looking, keep looking. We got him kind of pinned back here, behind this tree. Now, he's throwing things. Pine cone. Must not be hungry. Well, this is a pretty average size one, but they can be real dangerous. What we want to do if we want to get any closer is just be real steady, real calm, and maybe we'll try to set some. Oh shit! Come on!
The beast escaped, and we decided to talk about the dangers to come.
And it's just like anything else. You get an iwi in there, iwi can just take your food. You're left with nothing. What are you gonna do? There's another fat iwi sitting over in some tree, and you're sitting there hungry, miles from any mini mart or anything. All you can do is look around you and try to figure out what to eat here. Now, you're no iwi. You can't eat pine cones. You can't look at that thing and say yum. There's nothing there that's good for you. It's all nasty and stuff. Anyway, now there's one there. Look. See the way he's loping down there? He's just. It's just a real natural motion. He's just built to run. It's all right. I'm gonna get myself a little better set this time. Now wait here. This is important. Now watch yourself. Watch yourself with your foot there. When you're tracking, you got to look for the spoor of the animal. Now this here iwi pie is an old one. This wouldn't be any use to us if we're tracking. But this is what they look like. You can see they grind the pine cones right up here. And they're vegetarians. A lot of people don't know that. They will kill a man. They'll rip his arms off. And you know, they'll mouth him for a while. But they don't ever actually eat it. You got the pine needles, got the bits of pine cone, bits of leaves and bark, and you know, whatnot in here. This is a dry one. We'll try to find something a little fresher here later on. But keep it in mind, it's got no real shape to it, real soft, and it's large. Real large. Okay, let's go. There he is. Now. Oh. Now, I'm a little worried about this one. We've been chasing him for quite a while. He could start to become aggressive if we don't give him a chance to rest a while. So, we'll just have to take him. I'll show you some other things you should know about going into the iwi lands. You don't want to be up here without having a good idea what's going on. Now see, here he comes again. We have pissed him off. This can be dangerous. I'll get back. You stay back. Ah, boy! Hey! What do you think you're doing? Running up on innocent folks with a handful of pine cones? I'll learn you a thing or two, you bastard! Just keep on moving that way. Stop, get on out here. We civilized, man. Civilized! See what happens? You start treating them like a thinking creature. You gotta be prepared to be aggressive and be able to take charge of the circumstance. Oh, wait, see here. Look at this iwi pie. This is as fresh as they come. Got a little stick here. Look at that. Look at that texture. Now we're not too far behind him. This probably isn't half an hour old. He's ours. Oh yeah, he's ours.
Well, I tell you, we were just coming down the trail here not more than 10 minutes ago. We were just coming around that bend right over there, and I was following Greg about 5 yards behind him, and just as Greg got by away, this big monstrous thing came jumping out of the bushes behind us. And we turned around and he was up there just like clawing and scratching, so we just hightailed on down the trail and he turned around and went back into the woods.
Here's a fresh iwi pie. Now, as you can see here, you can see the footprint in it. He's already stepped right in it after he made it. For some reason, they like to have a smell about themselves. But what we're going to do now is we're going to use this wide spot here to set a trap to try to catch an iwi a little better. Now, what we're going to do is bait this with a food source not natural to the iwi, but something he really enjoys. I brought it just for him. What the hell is it? Oh. Now, this here's a Coors Light. It's the finest beer in America. Now, we're going to set that right there. And we're gonna this could take a while. We're gonna have to just pull over here and wait and see if we can't get something. We may be here all day, we may not get anything, but we just gotta hope.
The animal is surprised when he sees our cameras. He becomes excited and he flees. It is the last time we will see the iwi.
The thing is, we have to appreciate these creatures for what they are. And I hope this film can do that. I hope you see them in a different light after you've seen this film. Because I know I'm just an old redneck, but I'm trying to change my thinking, because these times we live in now, they're not the same. It's not like when I was a kid. God, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? God and the iwis. That's what's here. Some trees too.
Thank you for joining us on our search for the iwi. We found that he's a beautiful, sometimes frightening creature. The question remains, Will he remain a part of our ecosystem, or will he die off because of our industrialization and our hunting? Mr. Taylor has given us some wonderful glimpses of this beautiful creature. Please carry them with you in your heart. And remember, when you visit us in the San Juans, he could be right out there.